All right, guys, so we're on part 3 of the Cory scammer saga. And if you haven't seen the first 2 parts, I'll link them up in the eye if you want to get caught up linearly. But I can give you a brief rundown of what's happened. So a few months ago, I sold some products online. Said person, Cory, bought 72 of those products. 1 month after that, he charged them all back, which equal to over $7,300. I was dejected, down in the dumps. All of the things, and then come to find out he's the final boss of chargeback scamming, especially in the Pokemon community. And I come to find out through other people, other awesome people in the community, that he was trying to sell my stuff, and started, a police case, reached out to some friends that are in this arena that could help, litigation, so here we are, okay? What I did in the past 48 hours is, number one, find out that he scammed one of my best friends as well. And like one of the biggest names in just Pokemon YouTube, which was PokeRev. We'll go into that at the end of the video or later in the video because I need to organize everything that I want to deliver to you guys here. But more importantly, he preys on small businesses, small Pokemon businesses. That was one thing that I saw that was in common with a lot of these victims that were stepping forward. I don't really know how to put into words how it makes me feel, because for me, and I'm not ignorant to this, I was able to withstand and, take this hit and still, continue on and be able to, it didn't cripple my business, to the point where I had to stop. It crippled me for literally probably 2 weeks. I mean, it was like 2 weeks to set back, but he's done this to people where it's taken them completely out of the business, and multiple people step forward like that. So that is one thing that I noticed when it comes to these victims. He preys on small businesses because I think that they're just getting into it. They're willing to just take it on the chin and they don't fight back as much. Some do, but most don't. From what I've seen, because it's just one of those things where it's not worth it for them to sink more resources into it to try to get back, let's say, the $500 that Cory scammed them out of, okay? The ones that kind of hit me the hardest were the stories that people said that it took them out of the hobby completely. It made them hate Pokemon. It made them hate the culture. It gave them a bad taste in their mouth. And, they probably told every person that they've encountered since then about what happened to them and being, literally scammed out of the hobby, essentially. Some updates that I want to give you before I go down. I'm going to give you a breakdown of the people that I vetted, how much has been scammed. It is going to shock you. It is insane. And I'm going to give people a little spotlight that deserve it because their voices haven't been heard up to this point. But some updates on just my whole situation. My case with my local PD has now been escalated and has been given to my local detective office, which is going to be in contact with Medford PD, where Cory is located. So they're going to start working together on that. So that's as far as I know on that piece. My case right now, I can't tell you too much about the civil suit part of things. It is just pending litigation is what I'll say. And I've been informed by my attorney to not really say too much more on that. And I'll just leave it right there. It is pending litigation. And then something that's been happening that I wasn't anticipating was a lot of local news in the Oregon and Medford area has been reaching out to me wanting to publish this story and put all of this out there, because the only thing I can think of is, Pokemon right now is obviously very top of mind. Everyone's talking about it, whether it's all the scalping that's happening, the scamming, the fights at Costco's, all this stuff. A lot of people are kind of buzzing around this, this thing. So naturally, when they see something like this, maybe they see my video online and then they want to reach out. I am not going to respond to any of those people right now. So if you're watching out there and you're one of these people, I'm just holding off on responding right now because that is not my That's not a priority. My priority is bringing this person to justice, recourse for the people affected, and just a go forward plan for people that were affected. So just so it's clear. Okay, let me give you a little rundown on our friend Cory here. This is all public knowledge. It's all out there. 4 court cases, 3 convictions, 2 police cases that I saw, 1 harassment case. And David, if you could just start giving me, I'll forward you as many screenshots as I can. If you could just give me maybe, some pop-ups. I want to spotlight some of these people. These are people that step forward, and you'll see again, you might recognize some of them, just their icons. They're small Pokemon business just trying to make it, in the world. These are numbers that I vetted that have been confirmed to have been scammed. Okay, $1,387, $54, $1,764, $293, $1,902, $815, $500, $1,626, $487, $1,648, $721, $132, $1,656, $144, $601, $1,109, $874, $391, $1,489, $1,781, $176, $680, $1,211, $254 for a grand total that I've vetted so far of $29,225. This is your legacy, Cory. 48 victims that I've vetted so far. And those aren't even all of there's more. Okay. So this isn't even including comments that have just said comment number, but I never vetted them. So I can't throw them in here. I'm guessing with those comments included, because I saw some big chunky ones in there, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be around the $100,000 range is what I'm guessing. Okay, with all of those ones, but non-vetted. But I wanted to give you, that's vetted. That is confirmed. I saw the chargebacks. I saw the screenshots. Just think about that for a second. Okay. Also, the 3 convictions I want to mention: theft in the first degree, initiating a false report, and then theft in the first degree again. So those are the 3 convictions, and that's not including mine. Now let's get to the meat of this sandwich. Obviously, you guys know about Shinyvert that got scammed out of roughly $2,000. No recourse for him. Mine was $7,300. PokeRev confirmed, if we can put something up, David, $2,684. And then there were 2 other transactions where Nick's team actually conversed with Cory, where Cory canceled a $159 order and an $884 order, where they were canceled because it was taking too long to ship. My thought is something happened where they figured out that maybe this person, like from what happened from the first chargeback, he ran the same play on PokeRev as he did with me. He ran the buy it, wait, chargeback, keep product, and resell it. Okay, same wash, rinse, repeat. I'm disgusted. I'm shocked, and this just gives me more fervor and motivation to see this all the way through, whether that's through litigation, compensation, and then, like I said, a go forward for these victims. Okay. Not only that, I asked Nick to check if he was able to win that chargeback. If it was, because he obviously, I think he has a team that actually, works on these. And from what I saw in the screenshot, he lost the dispute. And I feel like that's the same for all of these people that have been involved in this scam, is somehow through ignorance or not caring or complicity, the platforms like, and the credit card companies, they are complicit in this scam because they don't cover the seller as much as they should. I'm not saying it should be 100%, but I'm saying maybe a little bit of research before you instantly take the buyer's side of things. And I think that's their business model, because if they were constantly taking the seller side, I feel like it would be a bad business model for them, because it would be sunk cost either through defending their sellers on their platforms with the credit card companies, or refunding the money somehow. I think this is a part of their business plan to stay, as profitable as they can somehow. They've obviously, problem solved the metric, and they know if they can, if they're going to make money or not, depending on which road they go down, whether they support the seller or the buyer. Lastly on this, guys, I want to just talk about some of the feedback that I've been getting in the comments. 99% of it is super positive, and I appreciate you all for it. Some of it's sad because there's actually victims in the comments. But I have these super toxic individuals that say, us as sellers, so like ShinyVert, myself, PokeRev, we're getting what we deserve, because we already have money. And like some guy said, oh, you have a box in the background, so so like whatever, just move on. Who cares? You already have enough, or something like that. I started like everyone else did, and that was with zero. And just because I have something behind me that might be valuable, it doesn't mean that that's why it's there and that's why it's important to me. Maybe it's because I have stuff that, is from my childhood, or maybe it's some nostalgia feel, or maybe it's because I actually like the hobby still, and it's something that makes me feel something. And I don't look at it as just dollar bills and, and just stacks of money. It's a low IQ take also to say, oh, scammers scamming scammers. It's offensive to me in the sense that, like, you can feel the way you want to feel about me. You can say that, my stuff is priced too high, and that I don't provide a good service, or that, I don't provide any value with my videos, or whatever it is. That's your right. But I don't hold anyone's hand, and I don't have my finger on top of someone else's finger when they choose to either buy something from me, support me in a break, or whether it's a product that I'm selling, or, or whether it's something during a live event. I feel like only truly miserable and toxic human beings have that take, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm not the one that's majorly affected by this in comparison to all of the other guys that are just trying to make it, and maybe they get scammed for $3,000, and that was all of their working capital that they had in the whole world to make their company functional. Those are the guys that suffer, and those are the guys that you're actually taking a shit on, okay? I just want you guys to maybe reflect on that, and you probably won't because you don't care enough to, but those are the guys that really suffer. And I get that you're trying to get a reaction out of me, and that you want to have, like, funny, like, oh, come, whatever. But it's just lame and toxic, and I don't have time for it. For everyone else that cares and wants to help, I appreciate you guys. And I'm not letting this go. I'm going to go back to other videos and stuff, but the moment that I have more information on this case and everything that's happening with Cody, I'm going to update you guys on that and let you know what's happening with the recourse as well for the victims, because I'm not letting that go. I am just in shock, and I have to go to the drawing board on how many people that there are. I have to figure this out, and I have a feeling of what I'm going to do to compensate these people and how I'm going to come up with the money. I just have to wrap my arms around. There's so many victims. I mean, one of them is my best friends in the world, so it's like I'm figuring that out as well. Thank you guys again, and if you don't mind, if you made it this far, share this video out. Like I said, all the ad revenue, all the money that comes from these videos, from this series, is going to the victims of this person. And I stand by that, and that's what's happening. So get it out there as much as we can, guys. But yeah, I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next part of this when there's a next part of this. Thanks, guys.